Welcome back to the call box where you go for police info. I am Sergeant Lorraine Fernandez and I am here with
Sergeant Jen Zach. We are taking over
for National Women's Day. So we have here with us a very special guest.
Yes, we do. She is amazing.
She is our own Public Affairs Bureau PIO, Phoebe Crump.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So we wanted to have you here today because we wanted to talk about the annual award ceremony. And
Which she is amazing and
Insanely
instrumental in putting this whole program together where our officers get their awards.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk about what goes into planning, how far out you start planning for this event, and what the purpose overall is, and how you feel once it's complete. So let's get into how far out do you start planning for this?
Technically, the department starts over a year out because the awards we gave out were voted on at the beginning of the year throughout the whole year to give out in the spring sometime. So we've already technically started as a department planning next year's award ceremony.
Right.
I come in the summer to fall, start getting the venue secured and working through all the different steps leading up to the ceremony.
And then so once you get the nominations and they get accepted, you get the list sent over to you. How do the officers get notified about that?
When the award is voted on and accepted, officers are notified that they've gotten it, and they will be given their uniform pin that they wear. After that, I notify them closer to the ceremony with all the details saying, please come accept your award with us that night.
How far back are some of these officers' actions that caused them to get this award?
Majority of the awards will happen a year to a year and a half prior, just due to all the different logistics. But I've given out ones 20 years previously that have happened. We went through a phase when I first started awarding our police shields going back because it was a newer award, and that one's given out to our officers who have been significantly injured in the line of duty. So we went back and captured a lot of the ones that had never been recognized before the award was created.
Which is an amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So once invitations are sent out to the officers, they're able to RSVP and then invite family members. What does that look like? How does that feel for you to see the whole thing come to completion the night of?
It's awesome. I like seeing the families are excited to support their loved ones. We have a good turnout of our department in general, just supporting each other.
And then our chiefs come out to acknowledge each award that's happening. So they all have their own little piece that they can speak on.
Yeah, they each introduce a category. We have 7, sometimes 8 categories at the ceremony. So they each introduce something, and they're all backstage congratulating the officers as they go on.
Is there one award in particular that you look forward to preparing to hand out every year?
I don't think there's a particular one. It's fun to see because we always recognize our volunteers. It's fun to see their excitement of being recognized because the officers don't show quite as much, but those volunteers who donate thousands of hours are super excited backstage to go and get their certificate and recognized by the chief.
And then that day, just in preparation, so people just have an idea, what's the process as far as once the venue is secured? How do we start out where we have our bomb squad come in and clear the venue and everything?
So we start scheduling different things months out sometimes scheduling a sweep to clear the facility, getting our reserve officers to come and be security and hold that facility after the sweep. We have our cadets who come out and help us the day of with directing people, refilling waters, taking pictures. Wherever we need them, they're there to support. We have our honor guard who comes out to do the flags, to help present the medals, sing the anthem, the bagpiper, all of them. So we're booking them months out to come help with that event. And then that day, it's public affairs loading in all the gear and all those different partners coming in throughout the day and helping us get the facility ready.
And we know our officers look forward to this ceremony every year.
And we just want to thank everyone, and we want to send congratulations to everyone that received an award. Stay tuned with us, and we'll be back shortly.
I'm a busy mom. I'm also a Phoenix police officer devoted to keeping our community safe.
I'm a Little League coach. And I'm a Phoenix police detective and a part of the team here too.
Find endless career options with one of America's best large employers.
Welcome back on this National Women's Day, where we have our Sergeant Jeff Cichosz, who is a DOU sergeant, and he's going to talk to us about e-bikes.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So e-bikes is the new trend with downtown. How did you guys get them?
So essentially it started about a year ago, and I was asked by our commander to develop a third shift crime suppression squad. And so I went out to Scottsdale, Tempe, spoke with Chandler, and kind of saw what they were doing and realized that they were policing their downtown areas on e-bikes. And so that kind of started the process, and then began working with the Phoenix Police Foundation for a fundraising effort.
Amazing. And so we did that event for you guys. We covered some of it. How many e-bikes did you guys get? And
So
who was all involved?
Yeah, so we have 10, and essentially they were, like I said, fundraised through the Phoenix Police Foundation, and then some of the largest sponsors and donors were the Western Alliance Bank downtown and Cityscape, and then Councilwoman Ann O'Brien's office.
So my question to you is, I have been to the department's bike training that we have, and it's rigorous, fun, and hurtful. How is the e-bike training?
It's really just a familiarization. So as long as our officers are bike certified, they're able to operate these. It takes about maybe a 15-20 minute introduction, and it's primarily focused on the computers, how to operate the speeds, use the pedal assist, run through gears, just kind of a few of the basic, I guess, features of the bike. The operation is pretty much the same, although these bikes will do 28 miles an hour. So we want to make sure they have a good understanding of kind of the operation of it before we send them out.
And then on your bikes is what identifies it as a police tool? Like with our vehicles, it says police, has red and blue lights. Is
Sure.
there something similar?
Yeah, so these are being equipped with the police placard on the sides of them. The lights operate not just from a white and off perspective, but they do have red and blues that I could see us using for like a traffic control position during events, or if we're trying to close a roadway, close a sidewalk, that kind of thing.
How are these bikes helping DOU and with all the activities that we have downtown?
Sure. So just this last Sunday during one of the concerts at the arena, officers went out and did vendor enforcement. So they were able to essentially patrol a few block radius around the arena and do enforcement of illegal street vendors.
And I think also the great thing, if you can talk about it, because obviously you're doing it, is the capability of officers being on bikes for a longer period of time versus
Correct.
getting fatigued.
Yep. Yeah, so the fatigue level on these honestly is very minimal. And so the footprint that the officers are patrolling is kind of a combination of city streets, city parks, parking garages, where in the past, if they were to patrol a parking garage looking for burglary suspects, patrolling 6 stories of a parking garage on a manual bike would be pretty exhausting, much less if you have to go across the street and then patrol a second garage and a third garage. So these e-bikes, we can patrol a garage with virtually no effort and no sound like you would get from a patrol car and whatnot. So I think we're going to be able to see a lot easier apprehensions of these suspects that won't be able to hear or see the officers coming.
So what are the main areas and type of events that you're going to use these for?
Sure. So we've been using them at street fairs already. The events at the arena, I imagine we'll also be using them at the Chase Field for outside vendor enforcement. We're also using it for nighttime enforcement around the bar areas in the downtown district, and patrolling the parks and just areas that are harder for officers to reach with their patrol car. And then also it kind of makes us a lot more approachable. So we're getting flagged down much more easily by people out on the street, and just, I mean, the officers don't ride a block or two without somebody stopping them and wanting to have a conversation about the bikes.
So you were talking earlier about the lights that were on the bikes. If you have to go to an emergency call, what capabilities do you have so that our community can recognize that you need to get through?
Sure. So with the red and blue light feature, same as in a patrol car, officers would come up to an intersection, could activate the red and blue lights, proceed through, and it's safe to do so. And it also allows, vehicle traffic to know that, hey, there's an emergency vehicle, even though they may not see at nighttime and from behind that it's an actual e-bike, they might think it's a regular vehicle. It allows them to, I think, arrive more safely with less likelihood of getting injured or, causing an accident.
So, with having 10 bikes, how often are the bikes out and patrol?
Sure. So we're trying to get them out every day across all 3 shifts. We're also trying to increase our staffing numbers as well so that we can deploy larger groups on the e-bikes. But at the moment, we're looking at smaller groups of officers at this time that are going out on patrols.
Is there something else that you'd like to share with the community about these e-bikes or about their interaction with them, how they should approach you guys, or any information that's important for our community to know?
Sure. Honestly, they can just flag down an officer, raise their hand, start talking to them. The officers are patrolling, unless they're on their way to an emergency call at a higher rate of speed, they're going slow. They're trying to engage the public and then enter businesses and introduce themselves and, check kind of hotspot areas of problem activity.
And when you guys are riding the bikes, are you mainly sticking to roadways? Or
So no, that's a good question. So we do end up having to use sidewalks, city park areas, whether they're paved or grass or whatnot. And the bikes, kind of the nice benefit of that is that we can navigate those tight spaces much more easily. And the officers, instead of maybe walking multiple parks throughout a shift, can essentially patrol multiple more, I guess, surface areas with less time.
thank you, Jeff, so much for being here and talking about e-bikes with us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sergeant Cichosz, for being here and hosting. And thank you for hosting with me.
Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it
All
here
right.
on National Women's
Women's
Day.
Day. Thank you for our crew for hosting and producing. And thank you, listeners. You can catch the video versions of this show on our YouTube channel. And we also want to remind you that you as a community can help us solve crime by contacting Silent Witness, 480-WITNESS, or 480-TESTIGO. You can visit us on all our social media platforms as well. And we're hiring. Go to joinphoenixpd.com. And until next time, be safe out there.